I was just given a message. Thank you for watching. If you are a good, decent being, okay? I don't even know the words to use for that anymore. You know, if you're non-toxic, non-crazy, you know, I appreciate, I honor you. You see how I'm doing that, y'all? Okay. So as I'm just strolling about my son's complex, which I have every full right to do. If you ain't up to no fuck shit, then I should be the last person you are concerned about, shouldn't it? If you ain't done nothing. Unless I'm around here swatting the air and biting at things that don't seem to be there. And even then, you really shouldn't be concerned with that. People shouldn't be, collective? But the reason why they are is because most of them are. Anywho, let's get to what this live is about. So as I am strolling, I was making a midnight, or should I say a late night smoothie, still in the process of that. It's gonna be great. Okay, I gotta do part 2 of it in a minute. But as I am strolling my son's apartment complex, you know, in a very unique and different way, you know, I'm exploring areas that I never have before. Am I doing anything? No, I'm simply just walking. Okay. Actually, I enjoy outside. I enjoy nature. It's something that I feel that as a targeted individual, if you happen to enjoy nature, this is something that they try to take from you. Okay. Whether that be trying to restrict your movement, putting, you know, having it so that you're in an area where it's limited, and or it's just simply to try to make you feel uncomfortable in these said places if you are someone who likes outdoors and you like nature. Because truth be told, we're really not made to just be in these flat cement drywall. We're not meant to be in there 24/7 like that. So it's just my opinion. I believe that's a part of what they attack. If you like the outdoors, then they want you uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? Either way, they're basically wanting you uncomfortable. So back to what I'm saying. So as you take your power and say, I'm gonna enjoy this, right? So I'm just strolling my son's apartment complex. I'm in the process of making a nighttime smoothie, but I need to wait for something to happen to the ingredients. So I stopped it and, you know, got my eyeglasses, got my frequencies on, and, you know, started patrolling. Okay. Am I doing anything? No. Just walking. I'll make that perfectly clear. Okay. Walking. Being. Walking. Being. Walking. The only reason why I'm emphasizing that is because the only people that's concerned about anything to do with that are people that are guilty. Simple as that. This is why they tell on themselves every fucking day. The only people that's nervous, and because again, if you know, like, I didn't do it, okay, well, you kind of shouldn't be worried. You're kind of worried because you know. So now, like I said, I was actually doing, did you guys know that you can do walking meditation? Meditation is not always, you know, traditionally like, you know, seated in a yoga position, you know, with, you know, holding the index finger, thumb. And those are all templates and programs, and it can work, but it's an embodiment, it's a consciousness, it's a state that you allow yourself to get into that makes it that. Okay, so for an example, some of the things that I do with walking meditation is I'll have on certain frequencies, okay, to basically is going to ricochet out trash. Okay, so when I am aware that people are doing their baneful work or whatever, I'll do that. Now, as I was doing that a little bit ago, as I got into this kind of calmness, this inner that happens as I get into that state, okay? Especially as I explored different areas. So basically I broke a routine. I broke up the monotony. I broke up, okay, I only walk here, I only go there, I only step here, I only step there. There's no rule, you know? so I broke that up, which was refreshing. For me, it was just refreshing just to expand and just kind of scope the scene of my son's complex. And as I got into that state of being, this is the message I heard, the title of the video. Now, I want to say that it doesn't apply to everything. I think they were referencing, or should I say my oversoul spirit guides were referencing specific individuals that I was thinking of at the moment. I don't think that they were talking about on a grand scale, you know, everybody, because that would be a lie. There are some people are sophisticated in their darkness. Meaning, you know, they are doing some sophisticated shiznit. But not in this case, not regarding the individuals I was thinking of in the moment. And that is when I heard, it's just gossip, which you can sense and which you can feel. My senses are heightened. They are. Meaning, when I say sense, somebody's gonna say, what do you mean sense? You mean you just thinking? No, that's not what I mean when I say sense. What do they call it? What's the technical term? Is it clairsentience? In other words, like, there's an annoying with the claircognizance, but the senses, or is it the feeling? I'm trying to remember which one of the clairs, but you basically can feel it. I can feel when people are, I'm serious, viscerally. You heard me correctly. Visceral. Now, here's the thing. Because of the level of maybe buffering and shields that for example, people got voodoo dolls, but it's buffered. I hope that makes sense. For the people that are actually doing that kind of stuff, I can feel it, but it's not the way you see what I'm saying? Not to the magnitude in which. You see that? It's a sense. So let's say they're stabbing, for an example, I'm trying to make this make sense. Say that they're, somebody is like stabbing a puppet doll, like hard, bitch, or a voodoo doll. Like they're just, bitch, they putting all their mental illness into, into the thing, right? Their fury for you. And I'm only saying it this way because if you know that you ain't done that to people, it's like the only thing that you come up with is mental illness. Okay? So they're doing it, but it's supposed to, like, whatever their intentions are. But let's say all you feel is like a pinch in the very same area in which they're doing it. Does that make sense? So even when it's gossip or the element of air, the portal of air, communication, which is gossip, the air element, okay? Since it's air, it's going to always possibly be on the upper chakras. You see where I'm going with this? Meaning the upper body, especially the head. Okay? It's going to be the head because that's what this is. It's going to be the head. So it's like psychic, brain, all things to do with the head, mouth, throat. You may very well, depending on, you may very well sense or feel some things in the throat, the third eye, the crown, and viscerally, physiologically. So you can feel a sensation. So as I was being told, when I got into that state of being, is just gossip. They're not that sophisticated. But as you all can see I don't know if you can see the full definition because I did pull up gossip. And this is why it is known or referenced in the spiritual community, maybe even in the religious community, right? But the energy and the frequency, it is said to be that of witchcraft. Witchcraft simply meaning manipulation of energy with a goal to bend someone's thoughts and views and opinions and state regarding a thing, a person, and a matter. the attempt to alter by way of incessant gossip. So it's a building up of energy, right? So when you're dealing with pathological gossips, people that are obsessed, have an obsessive, personality, obsessive in a toxic sense, an unhealthy, you might feel it. And as a targeted individual, and then if you're anything like me and you're sensitive, even though you don't feel the way it doesn't fall on you the way they want it to. Okay, because you don't care. Shit, that's one of the fucking. You gotta fucking care. These people's humiliation strategies and all of this shit. Reputation and character assassination and stuff. It affects, to an extent. That's all I can say about that. And then it ricochets, because at the end of the day, when you know what you know and you are who you are and you know who you are and blah, 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 blah. Now, in terms of that particular little sector, it might, but maybe that just helps you to realize that you don't want shit to do with that sector then, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because, sometimes some shit work out like that for you, because it helps you. Okay, well then if the motherfuckers, okay, if that's, then maybe I don't. How about that? How about them apples? How about them apples? You know what I'm saying? How about I don't want them? How about I don't want, because if that's what they own, if they don't have no fucking, no depth to their asses, and they're going to allow these trash bags to, you know what I'm saying, then it is what it is. Not that that's what you would want it to be, but it's a kind of a liberation. Like, okay, maybe this shit, it helped me to realize this is not the shiznit. Because I don't want to roll with them kind of motherfuckers. Okay, they too easy. They fold too easy. They too fucking, you know what I'm saying? Okay, can't have that. Can't have that. They don't have no depth. They don't have no substance, no knowledge, nothing worth nothing. If they are willing to run with rumors, that's high school, and I'm gonna say that till it burn up enough people. That's high school, baby. That's a high school mentality. And I'm sorry that there are people that are fucking 65 years old, and that's what the fuck they own. Okay? Reputation. We even tell our kids, those of us that have had children and they start going into middle school, and children can be the cruelest. Oh boy, do I know it. From when I was a kid to just, you know what I'm saying, watch what my son went through to beyond. Like, they can be, but many of us, we tell our kids, those of us that was trying to be a decent parent anyway, we tell them, don't, what do we say? Don't listen to them. We tell them this then. And we're referencing children, but can't get shit straight when it comes to old dusties. But we tell them, don't listen to them. They're jealous, or they come from, maybe a bad home, and they're miserable, and they're just taking it out on you. It doesn't mean anything. It's just gossip. Don't listen to them. Don't pay any attention to them. Don't have nothing to do with that. Now who. You see our little sermons and our little speeches, the principles that we're basically call ourselves. We call ourselves instilling, and our children. And meanwhile, some of us are some of the biggest gossips at 30. $35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. I'm just saying, we knew even then the dangers of gossip and how toxic it was, and how, you know, trying to convince our children to, like, okay, hey, don't even get involved with that, because if they talking about you, some of us even said this verbatim. If they sitting up there talking about so-and-so with you, and this is somebody in y'all's friend group, just imagine what they saying to them, to, you know, when you see what I'm saying? We've said this. Some of us have said this to some of our teenage kids, our young adult kids, and yet and still we foul, just skankatrons, just full-blown, full manifested skanks. That's why some of our kids don't respect us now. They play respect us as fear. That's what that shit is. It's fear, nigga. But some of them don't respect us because they're like, man, you full of shit. You talk this game. You talk. I see it. I see it. I see you every day. I see you talking about your own siblings. It's dismissed. Dismissed. I see you for no reason. And then pretend like that ain't what you doing. It ain't like you integral. It ain't like you holding to it. You ain't holding. But anyway, for some of you out there, that's the message, okay? That it's just gossip. They're not that sophisticated. Pertaining to who might be on your mind when you click on this video at some point. It's not referencing everyone. I know that if you're a targeted individual, you do have sophisticated, high-level shit that's been done on you since you were born. And this is why some of these motherfuckers about to go to school. Because they think they're doing something, and you've had some of the most powerful people in the country and beyond doing shit on you. And they think, because it's like, nigga, Negro, please. The Louisianians was doing shit, and then was the mom and pop garage bitches in Louisiana since when I was a baby. I'm speaking and referencing to, okay, the shits nits that was done. Okay, whoop, huh? So ain't nobody no stranger to that. Now, or African shit. They've been doing it, you know, because listen. Everything has potential to be distorted. So I'm not going to just say because I'm melanated, like, no, because if you loopy, bitch, you know, no. They're right on cue. If you loopy, huh? It don't matter, because it's about the state of being of a person. It's not just about the practice. It's, okay, are you okay? Because you over here doing shit. It's because your mental capacities. You know, is you all right? Yeah, I've had that kind of shit done on me since I was a kid. And throughout different important timestamps of my life. I'm talking about some powerful motherfuckers. You understand me? When y'all hear me say stuff like elites or famous people, I mean it. I mean it. Okay, so this means that they were what? Seasoned. It means that they're seasoned. They're well practiced. They're not a novice. They didn't have possibly their whole lifetime, bitch. They didn't have their whole get up. They was not sabotaged, bitch. They didn't have their whole. You see what I'm saying? which means that they are well versed and effective, hello, for all the things in which they do. So, some of these people, y'all, you're just feeling they yapping, they run their mouth. They don't got a life. Their life is getting up, being an agent of chaos. Their life is getting up and following suit on the assignment the corrupt agents gave them to follow suit on. Get up, follow this person. Get up, on a schedule, be a noisemaker. Get up, walk around looking like the Walking Dead, looking like a fucking Children of the Corn motherfucker and shit. Synchronized and shit. Fucking, and be weird. That's like their life. And they'll get their Walmart gift card, each day. Okay, as they fulfill these assignments, okay? Go and drive and take pictures and video when you see the target on the move and report to us. That's the extent of their existence. You understand me? Oh, yeah. And it is. It is. It helps them to feel relevant. It helps them to feel like they're here, they matter, they're getting something done. Some of them convince themselves they have a cause. A lot of these people are teeny boppers and teenagers, which makes, this is disgusting. This is the part that I just, boy, that's the part right there that just really burns me up about my country. Or I shouldn't even say my country, because shit, fuck that. But, current physical location. It burns me up because, it's like, okay, you that low. These people, these youth, you that fucked up. You are actually that fucked up in the head. They don't know nothing. They happy for fucking, you know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing. Most of them scared, do anything. Because, you know what I'm saying, they out here hustling and y'all know. And then they exploit that. Oh, well, we can make this go away. Pulling them into their foolishness. Fucking up their own soul and shiznit. Fucking up their own get up. Beyond whatever little dilly deal the fuck that they selling. Don't care nothing about these kids, these youngsters. Don't care nothing about them. It's sad. Care nothing about them. Go out here and terrorize motherfuckers. Oh no, I mean, that's not what we meant. And you'll get a rental car. Don't you want to drive? All expense paid. Ain't that the dream job? Po kid, po child. Just po motherfuckers. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's an embarrassment to the country. Because that's what we're, I'm talking about the authority, the power, okay? That's how low we go, using these people as pawns and essentially selling them a pipe dream and selling them some protection that even you can't provide, but they're not going to say that. Got you out here, get these kids, these youngsters out here sticking their neck out. I'll do it, because they don't care about, they worry about keeping their shit on tilt. I bet you they ain't. How much you want to bet? You want to bet? Want to bet? Let's bet. How much you want to bet? Bet. They're going to stay hiding as they always do. How much you want to bet? They ain't finna be found nowhere with their hands dirty. They gonna let them little youngsters, these little people they feel like are dispensable, do the dirty work. Because if the thing goes to shit, the bus, you know what I'm saying? They're nowhere to be found. They're not traced in the shit. That's how much they care for you, youngster. That's how much they love you. They love you. That's how much they got your back. I know some people to this day. As a matter of fact, that was sold a pipe dream. And then, on some bullshit, some toxicity. They allowed themselves to get involved out of their own form of toxicity. But then when the rubber met the road, they were the sacrifice. It was them. It was them. They was the one doing all the sacrifice and all of the flipping and hoops and loops and fire jumps, and it was them. Their neck out. And when shit started getting really real, motherfuckers start acting funny. Everybody got amnesia all of a sudden. Everybody confused all of a sudden. Everybody, misunderstood and bitch. And guess what? Ain't nothing that person could have done nothing, because most of the weight was on them. The print, if you wanted to trace, it's on them. And that's exactly what people in power do. They exploit the little man. They exploit the youth. They exploit those that are impoverished. They exploit those who don't, have the resources or the intelligence. I hate to say that, but they are definitely exploiting that. Don't think for 1 minute that they're not. They know that these youngsters don't know shit about molten shit. Most of them. Because most of the old motherfuckers don't. So they know that the young ones don't either. So they're going to appeal to their consuming ways. They like chicken, and I know I just said a cliche, but this is, if y'all want to get honest and real, this is some of their train of thought. Sorry, not sorry. Cancel and delete that. They're going to profile you. They're going to profile. It's classic. It's what they do. They got to take recon. They have to profile the targeted individual, but beyond that, they have to profile the demographic. So they can use what's going to be suitable for that said demographic to get them in on their intended goal. If they're radical, they're gonna zone in on that. If they just like consuming shit, they're gonna zoom in on that. If they have lots of addictions, they're gonna zoom in on that. If they have a rap sheet and trying to find their way out of something, they're gonna zoom in on that. If they're just somebody that's Looney Tunes and just got an obsessive nature and just a jilted ex-lover or a friend of, they're going to, they're going to critique it. If it's youth, they're going to critique it just for them. It don't take much. So they're going to, this is possibly why they use the youth a lot, because it don't take much for them. It don't. They're silly most of the time. It don't take much. All in, tell them you'll You know, give them a down payment for their apartment and they can finally get away from their parents. You know, some shit at the end of the assignment. Anywho, let me go ahead and get going. So, y'all, if you're anything like me out here and you see this video someday, just keep, I know you're tired of hearing it, but they want you in a certain vein. So some stuff ain't even worth your attention. Oh, I said it. Because some of it is simply this, yapping by the damn mouth. 24/7. They have nothing else to do. They don't have no hopes, goals, dreams, or aspirations. Their hopes, goals, dreams, and aspiration is fucking with you. That's their goal. But outside of that, they don't care about their life nor their kids. Yep, you heard me say that. Because they don't. You know it to be true based on their conduct. That's all you need to know. It's simple. It's very simple. It's as simple as that. It is, come on, it's as simple as that. I don't care if they buying their kids the top of the line, everything possible to buy them. They do not. If they did, they wouldn't be signed up for Team Toxic. If they did, they wouldn't be bringing that to their own environments. That's how you know. I mean, willfully. Because some stuff we can't avoid, but we're talking about people who have made these active decisions and choices. We're not talking about individuals where it's, you know, surrounding them. People are flooding you. No, it's people who are making the active and willing, intentional decisions for no reason other than. That's what we're referencing. Because I mean, hell, if you caught up in that shit, you know, you got to deal with you got to do what you got to do. But redirect. Some of you invest in noise. Now they call them noise counseling. They're a little expensive. I ain't gonna lie on that side of it. But they do have like wireless noise canceling earphones, like the kind that cup your whole, like they're big, but it's like the technology of it. You have to look for it. But it is real. You have to actually move them. There's been times where, you know, I had to move, I had to stop and take it because my son was saying something and I was not hearing nothing. And I was like, what? Huh? And I had to stop, move it so that I can hear what he was saying. That's how you know something is noise canceling. Okay? So ways you can kind of bypass some of these people's bullshit, some of, you know, these ops, their strategies. You have the control. You ain't got to stay inside either. If you want to patrol all night, nigga, there's no law. If you ain't in a place where there's some weirdo children of the corn, you know, curfew. But, you know, as an adult, no. Now, hopefully, you're not vandalizing people. You're not, you know, because that's something you can't be doing. But you have every right, if that's what you want, if that makes you comfortable, if you enjoy the fresh air, if, you know, you're taking command and say, very well, I know how to break this up. Okay? Because when you feel like people are trying to basically put you against the wall, or they're trying to force you to be in a location at a certain time, I already picked up on a game. That's why I'm having a little bit of fun with them too. I already picked up on what they've been doing. What they've been doing since Texas. Since me and my son have been in Texas. Yep, I'm going that far. What they've been doing. Y'all thought I was just talking about Beaumont, but nah, baby. I know what they've been doing now. So I'm enjoying myself playing the game. Make them work for it. See, the goal is to make you uncomfortable. Now allow your command to make them uncomfortable. You heard it correctly, your command. Your command is your presence. Not violating people, not crossing boundaries, that's their department. Your command is, I'm here. I am empowered. I am manifest. Now, the fascinating thing, if people were not trying to do that to you, most of them wouldn't be uncomfortable with your command. This is how you're going to learn to weed out and kind of decipher a lot of the illusionary shit you deal with. If it wasn't a goal to make you uncomfortable, then they won't be uncomfortable with your command. Because remember, it's not you violating people. It's not about you being loud, about gum popping, ghetto acting, neck rolling, up in people's shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're talking about. Just being, I am empowered. I am manifest. I will walk around at will for as long as I feel like it till I don't feel like it. Cops can come there and I'm going to still walk around because I can walk around until I feel like it. If I had if I was out here, vandalizing buildings and cars, well, then that's something different. But if that's not what we're doing, well, they can call who they want to call, who they need to call. And the only people who are calling are mostly the ones that are guilty and they scared. They be concerned about their little vehicles and, oh, come on now. Because they scared. Because they know. But isn't that ironic? Because the messer becomes the messy. They want you uncomfortable, but then they become uncomfortable. Isn't that funny? Because that's what happens. They be DMing one another, scratching their head and whoop and shit. They become uncomfortable. They be sitting in their cars, texting the motherfuckers and, doing their rituals, and they still uncomfortable while they're doing the rituals for some of them that are doing rituals. Again. Because when you're in command, they realize they can't spook you. They realize that you can come in uniform all you want. If I ain't breaking no law, I know what my rights are. You can come with your loud vehicles all you want. Not about to get no cortisol hit her. And they'll see that, they're not budging. Correct. When they see you're not afraid to walk in certain places, locations, ain't nobody there. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna patrol the entire property. Because I am a targeted individual, as is my son, and I have every full right to see how many sellouts I'm dealing with up in this motherfucker. How many criminals am I dealing with her? I'm just kidding. Anywho. alchemize, transmute. I'm not going to give you all the tools of that. I'm going to say investigate and see what you find that's going to work for you in terms of the gossip. Okay? Rituals you can do. For someone like me, words are becoming more and more important, and so I'm really trying to slow down and learn more that I need to learn about that so I can restructure how I do what I do to be more effective in my favor. Okay? Pertaining to it is what it is. We're going to have gossips. It is what it is. Some of us more than others. It is what it is. Sometimes we're in a location and we're just swarmed by it because it's people with no hopes, goals, and dreams and aspirations. And lo and behold, other than the status quo, other than what they were always given, but they're not really satisfied with it. And there's someone like you. We get trained to be used to pretense. I know about it because it was once upon a time me. That's how I know. For the fake care, the fake friends, the fake love that we know is fake. For the fake fitting, and we tell ourselves, well, no, you know, nigga, shit ain't all right. I mean, you ain't feeling right. But until we're ready to let go of that cognitive dissonance and that program we hardwired into, that's all we got. At least that's what we think. So we Stockholm syndrome until the end of days. Until you're ready to not be anymore. But you can clear all that energy, even the visceral. So if you clear whatever that is, when you can actually viscerally feel, not just emotions, but you can viscerally get a sensation or a feeling, then you can still transmute even that. And then redirect, keep doing it. And that's what I'm trying to practice. And so I wanted to come on and share that was the message. And there you go. I said to myself earlier today or yesterday, I said, and I say this to myself quite often, especially in the last 3-4 years, you must be a bad bitch. And if I haven't learned nothing else in these last 4 years, I have learned that. So even though there was a mixture of feelings that came with being targeted and realizing how far all this has gone, and concern for my son, really, more than anything else, I am also empowered. Because one of the messages it's sending to me is, I must be a bad bitch.